If you're watching this video, the chances are you already know what NoFap is. Maybe you have tried and succeeded or failed, but for those who don't know what NoFap is, it's a challenge where you abstain from self-gratification and watching adult content. As a result, it makes you stronger, mentally tougher, and also stronger physically as a result of your hard work, discipline, perseverance, etc. If you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, doesn't matter, you need to hop on NoFap. It's one of them habits that makes you disciplined, makes you tougher, even levels up your confidence and your social status, and the way you look at the ladies, the way you look at the attraction in the game, it's gonna totally change. It's gonna be 180. But the catch is not a lot of people are willing to submit to being in this type of routine, being in this type of journey, and quite a lot of people fail. Quite a lot of people cannot be disciplined and cannot really keep on going in this NoFap journey. I'm even willing to bet that 99% of guys who start NoFap eventually fail and they basically give up. In this video, we're gonna talk about why that happens, why 99% of people fail at NoFap, and what type of reasons or what type of mindset switches we can do to help those people. Long story short, let's start with the number one, and that's gonna be most of the people start NoFap for wrong reasons. One of the biggest motivations or biggest factors in people trying NoFap has to be winning streak or day streak. When you start NoFap, you get obsessed with the numbers. Okay, I did 1 week, I need to do 2 weeks, and then I need to do 90 days, and maybe, I don't know, like 1 year NoFap, and that's gonna be crazy, it's gonna transform my life. And yeah, that's cool, but the day you start obsessing over numbers is the day you lose control over yourself, because you cannot give emotional connection to the numbers, you cannot be dependent on them. The same thing happens to many, for example, YouTubers or even myself. The day I start obsessing over the numbers and how many viewers watch my videos, I might get into, you know, like a light bad mood. And the same thing, if you're losing weight or building muscle and if you're not seeing results when you hop on the scale, you might easily get discouraged. I'm not seeing any results, I'm gonna quit, etc, etc. So this type of conversations are gonna happen with your brain if you start obsessing over numbers. And the biggest problem with NoFap is gonna be people fail because they obsess with numbers. Now I am probably like 4 to 5 months on NoFap. I haven't really done any type of self-gratification by myself or online or watching this type of videos. And to be completely honest, I don't even want to do this thing anymore. Like, I don't care about the numbers. I'm not counting my days. Yeah, I know that I've been on this shit for a couple of months at least, but am I counting the days? Am I doing all this type of cross, you know, day 1, day 2, like tick? No, I don't care about those things, and numbers don't really matter. When you have your mindset right and when you have your motivation right, or even your inner desire and your conscious decision that you are gonna be sticking to your discipline and you won't give in to your desires and pleasure, when you have everything under control, numbers don't really matter. Starting NoFap just because you want to get to the next streak, just because you want to make it to, I don't know, 60 days, 90 days. Starting NoFap for those reasons is gonna be the reason, or is gonna be the day when you eventually fail. Reason number 2, it's a fairly short one, but it is to impress people, or it is to maybe try to make NoFap a thing that you can brag about, even in the, you know, manosphere, or maybe if you're in a community, maybe if you're going to the gym with your pals and you discuss about self-improvement stuff, and then you're like, hey bro, I'm on, you know, NoFap 60 days or 90 days and I've been like so far successful, etc. Again, the reason why you're starting NoFap here is not deep enough. If you read a lot of business books or even like life books, they tell you to start with why. They tell you to be clear and identify why you're doing this thing in the first place. Do you want to be rich? Why do you want it? Do you actually want the millions? Or are you just avoiding an uncomfortable life and poverty? Or do you want to get jacked? Why? Do you seek validation? Or do you just simply feel good? Or do you want to attract ladies? You have to really understand that the reason why is gonna basically determine probability of you succeeding at certain thing, basically anything. So if your reason to start NoFap is to impress people or to keep up any type of winning streak, sorry to say, but you're gonna fail eventually. This is gonna be one of them reasons you shouldn't really start NoFap for. If you have something deeper, cool, but if you don't have anything deeper, then probably sooner or later you're gonna fail at NoFap, and it's just not gonna be your lifestyle. Reason number 3 why 99% of men fail at NoFap is they put women on a pedestal. This is such a big, important topic, and I'm not gonna be able to cover this in one video, but in a nutshell, putting women on a pedestal means you basically make her so important in your life that everything else doesn't matter. As an example, you see a beautiful girl on the streets, or you see a beautiful girl on social media, and then you start swiping right and you give her validation, or maybe you're just attracted to her. Cool, she might have the looks. If you're dating a cool girl, like, good looking, attractive, good for you. But does she have anything else? Does she have values? Does she have morals? And when you see women for what they actually are, which is human beings, you start thinking about other things besides looks. If you judge a girl solely based off her looks, that means you're putting her on a pedestal. That means you're not looking at anything else. You're just saying, okay, well, she has, good body, she has attractive face, and yeah, I'm willing to date her, I'm willing to go on a date with her, etc., etc. Did you consider anything else besides looks? So in a nutshell, because men put women on a pedestal, they are addicted to adult content. Because, oh well, they only want this type of relationship with a girl. They only want gratification, they only want quick, cheap, easy dopamine, which is very fast and accessible, and they see women only as intimate objects. Try to understand that you might be putting women on a pedestal, and if you're doing that, obviously you're gonna be addicted to the beauty, addicted to the looks and the bodies, and you won't be able to succeed at NoFap and take control of your life. Reason number 4 why majority of men fail at NoFap is gonna be that they have already damaged and addicted brains. When you start doing something for a day, for 2 days, for 3 days, nothing changes. Give it a week, 2 weeks, nothing substantial, nothing exponential. But when you start doing something regularly and consistently over the course of, I don't know, a couple of months at least, then you will see some results. So when you go to the gym, you start lifting, you start watching your diet, you start basically being conscious about what you consume and how you work out. When you do those things for a couple of months, automatically you're gonna see results. The same way, when you start watching adult content over and over again, multiple times a day, I don't know, maybe for years and years now. When was the last time you didn't watch NoFap for months? Probably never, since you hit puberty. When you start doing these things over and over again for maybe even years and years, at the end of the day, what you have is a damaged brain. Your brain is out of control. It cannot control itself. It always gives into desires. It always gives into pleasures. Even when you see any type of cues, right? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I watch movies on some pirate websites, and then you see all of these pop-up ads with webcams, etc. And when you see all of those things, before I used to have cues. So imagine you're scrolling your Instagram, you see like a half-naked model, that seems interesting, and then one by one your brain starts fantasizing about her, and then eventually you go to an adult content website, and then basically you do self-gratification. That's a lose, you feel miserable, you feel depressed, etc., etc. End of the story. But now, when I have rewired my brain almost, when you see these type of things and cues, they don't get you anymore. You look at it and you're like, I'm better than this, I don't care, I don't want to give in to my desires, they do not hold power over me, and I'm pretty much independent on that. So what happens is, when you have already rewired your brain for success, or okay, that sounds very cliche, when you rewired your brain to not being so easily controlled by adult content, when you have done that thing, adult content doesn't control you anymore. You can easily see any type of cues and just dismiss them, and that's just how I feel after months and months of NoFap. And number 5, why 99% fail NoFap is because they are not Stoic. Now, Stoicism is a very popular practice nowadays, especially in the manosphere. I would suggest Stoicism as one of the first pillars for you if you're starting self-improvement and self-development, anything like that in general. Now, when you don't have Stoicism, everything comes in direct response. Something shitty happens to you and you start blaming others. You start blaming her, you start blaming him, you start blaming that thing. No, that's not my fault. That thing happened. That's why, it didn't happen. I couldn't do this. But Stoicism tells you to sit there and analyze your actions. Okay, somebody yelled at you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna yell back at that person? Or are you gonna be stoic enough and confident and in control to calmly confront that person? Or maybe just to dismiss that? I keep mentioning this over and over again, but in one of his speeches, Jordan Peterson said that you have to become an absolute monster and then learn to control this. Control is the key word here. If you're just aggressive, huge guy which messes with other people and screams in the streets and does all of these things, then you are out of control. You're not stoic. You don't have your emotions under control, but emotions are controlling you. But when you are stoic, there's a bunch of things that you can do. There's a bunch of fights that you can win, a bunch of people that you can yell at, but you don't do it because you control this thing. If you compare that to the intimate energy, instead of letting the emotions decide everything for you, analyze the emotions first and then make your decisions. That's the Stoicism in a nutshell. Whatever happens to you, you take that and you filter that, and then you make your response or you don't. When an intimate energy comes at you, when you see beautiful women online, instead of just releasing that energy right away, why don't you keep that energy and put it into your workouts and put it into your diet, put it into your business? Why don't you keep that thing and actually transmute that energy into something helpful, something beneficial, something helpful to other people. Do good for your community, do whatever that makes you feel good, but don't waste your energy, especially if it's an intimate energy. This was my 5 reasons why 99% of men fail at NoFap. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.